So I've owned my BMW Z3 now for 2 years. So it's been 2 years since I bought this car. And to say it's been a good experience is, well, I'd be lying if I said that. What's up, guys? Hope you're having a great day today. Today we'll be discussing why you should never buy a BMW Z3. So let's get started. Okay, I nearly just hit the mirror into the sign. Not good. Okay, we're gonna get right into it. Reason number one as to why you should never buy a BMW Z3 is, well, firstly, the fact that it's just old. The car is old. This one is a 1998, so this one is, I'm trying to do the math in my head, 26. So this is a 26-year-old car, meaning that it has 26-year-old technology, a 26-year-old engine, unless you engine swap it, and 26-year-old safety. So what that means essentially is that the only safety that I get is one airbag, two airbag, this and this. That's about it. That's almost all the safety features I get. So in other words, if I have a severe accident in this thing, I'm screwed. Knock on, I guess, the carbon fiber wrapped wood that I don't, but in the event that I do, I would be utterly screwed because this car is very unsafe. The second reason, this is more for my American viewers, is that this car is incredibly small. So small, in fact, that a lot of bigger cars that we have here in America don't see it in their blind spot. And so if you do happen to be unlucky, then you might have a car try and merge into you and it becomes a whole disaster. I would know, that's happened to me a few times, and a few people might say, oh, then stop riding in blind spots. I'm not. I don't ride in people's blind spots. When I find out that I am, I just get out as fast as I can, I slow down. And that's partially because of the fear of, like I said, people being idiots. People having big cars and being big idiots with them and not seeing a car there. And so to have something like this car be so small compared to something like these two vans over here, they might not see it and they might try and merge into the lane and hit the car. Now, combine the 26-year-old safety stuff with this car being small and potentially being hit by a giant SUV, and you've got a disaster waiting to happen. It definitely is something that scares me every time that I drive this car. I just drove it through downtown, and to say that I was terrified, especially when there's a Ram 1500 to my left, it's scary to think about that. Now, while the points I've mentioned are very, safety comes first, there are some people who are like, safety comes maybe 3rd, 4th, 5th, 27th, I don't know. But for those people, I think, and I guess for the safety comes first people as well, something that really might stir you away from this car, money. So I paid $6,200 for this BMW Z3, which if you look on the market right now, you'll see some Z3s that go for less, some Z3s that go for a lot more. In fact, we had one on Cars and Bids sell for $70,000. It was an M Coupe, S54 M Coupe, so it was the top of the line, while this one is the probably bottomest of the line aside from options. It's the 1.9 liter 4-cylinder, it has the 4-speed automatic, but it does have all the options on the interior. It has all of this stuff right here, which actually I don't know if that's an option or not, but we'll run with it. Now you might say $6,200 for this car is still a fairly good deal, and I'd probably agree with you, except for the fact that there was another $4,500 done in maintenance on this car. Yes, you heard me right, $4,500 on maintenance. Some of the big examples include the tires, which are Michelin's at $800. We also had to redo the electronics, or not really the electronics, but the wiring for one of these taillights. The running light wasn't turning on and I was failing inspections. That was $500. I'm not kidding with you. $500 just to fix a running light. That's insane. A few other examples are the glove box, which BMW quoted me, if you guys haven't seen that video, by the way, link in the description, $1,200 for this glove box. $1,200 for this. The roof job, to replace the roof on this BMW Z3, they'll charge you $8 grand. 8 big ones. I'm not kidding with you. That's insane. A lot of these things will outvalue the car. The price on a bunch of these things will outvalue it. And a lot of people might say, oh, but that's what aftermarket parts are for. And you do make a good point. I bought a used glove box on eBay for $120, and I bought this aftermarket roof for like $3 grand. Or wait. Nope. A lot of you might say, oh, but that's what aftermarket parts are for. And you make a very good point. This glove box was $120, not $1,200. And this roof was, I think, like $180. So fair point on that. But that being said, though, there's still a BMW logo on this car, meaning that the labor for these cars is gonna be expensive. Like, I've seen some people in the comments say $200 an hour for a BMW tech. I have seen some people say that their tech charges them just vast amounts of money, probably more money than I'd ever make in my life, which, I don't know how I feel about that. Anyways, we're gonna have that questioning of my career later on. But regardless, this BMW logo, this logo, which is actually starting to come undone now, which I don't know how I feel about that, anyways, is the reason why this maintenance is so expensive. Because it's a BMW, all in all, I mean, like, it still is a fairly easy car to work on. And a lot of people might say, oh, why don't you work on the car yourself? I don't know things like electronics. I don't know how to redo wiring. I don't know that stuff. I do have friends that know this stuff, and I've been resorting to their help a lot. So if they're watching, thank you. They've helped me with the glove box, the roof, and a bunch of other junk, which, oh my God, don't get me started on that stuff. But anyways, regardless of that, and I've gotten very off topic on this, the point is that maintenance on a BMW is expensive, and it's still quite a bit to happen. Like, let me show you guys this. That $4,500 that I mentioned before doesn't even cover everything. If we come on into the Z3 right now, I start her up, you can see that it's very much like, it wants to sound like a Cammed LS right now. Along with that, I have a check engine light on for a misfire and an airbag light on. I don't know how much those two things will cost me. I think the misfire will probably be about another, I want to say 500 bucks. The airbags are going to be God knows how much money. Like, it's not an actual airbag problem, it's just some issue with brackets, so I might be able to do that one myself. But in that aspect though, another 500 bucks on that, so great. Okay, I don't know what you are, but why are you on my car? Oh my God, what is that thing? Now you might be wondering why I have the hood up now and why I have a bunch of a mess in here. And that brings me to reason number 4 on why you shouldn't buy a BMW Z3. And that is that it is a nightmare to park this thing outside. So the issue I'm having is that the roof does leak a little bit. And so with that, when you park it outside and it's raining like it's been for the past God knows how long, everything likes to come onto this car. I've had this seat basically just covered in water. I've had somehow this covered in water to the point where it's discolorating. I think you guys can see that on camera. Hopefully you can. Along with that, a lot of these cars are really well, like, you know, looking. They have their paint well preserved. And then things like birds will come around and poop on it. Just, oh my God. I'm sorry, this is driving me insane. Along with that, Jerry and the boys are here. Like, legitimately, these guys are everywhere on my car. And that's some of the cons with, like, having this thing parked outside. Obviously, some of these are just general car problems. I don't think I could have stopped Jerry if I had a brand new Z4, if I had a McLaren, if I had a Toyota Camry, he'd still probably live on this thing. This one especially is a pain because of the roof leaking. This is a very common problem with convertibles where the roof will leak. And let me tell you, it's just gross when you want to come in, take a seat, and your pants are immediately just a bit wet because of the seat being wet. Now this point is more for the perfectionists out there. I actually need to shut this hood though. But the reason why you, if you're a perfectionist, should not buy a BMW Z3 is that these cars will never be perfect. There's always going to be something wrong with them. Like, a good example is just that. My door handle will always stick out like that, and it's always going to be a pain. But other than that, there's like these other small things that will drive any perfectionist. Oh my God, I hope you guys can see it. I know you can't, but there's a Chevelle driving by, and that sound is amazing. I got a split-second view of it. It's a red Chevelle. Man. Oh, look at that. But no, things like this are always going to serve as a pain for a perfectionist. We've had a few cars in the past. I've never owned any of them. This is the first one that I've owned. But we've had a few cars in the past which have been perfect in terms of how they run, in terms of how they look, all of that. And this one is different from them. This one looked perfect, and this one seemed perfect when we first got it. But as time has progressed, things just get kind of worse and worse. Now that I say all of this stuff, you might be wondering, so why do you own this thing? Why do you still have it after 2 years of ownership? And the reason for it is the sentimental value right now. The sentimental value is one of the big reasons as to why. It's my first car. It's the car that has gotten me through a lot, as I've mentioned before. And it's just the favorite because, I mean, what other car is there? This is the first. And I've looked at cars before. I looked at Porsche Boxsters recently, all of that stuff. But I have to say, none of them have the type of charm that this Z3 has. And I don't know what it is about the Z3 that has that charm. I think it is that first car thing. It just feels so great to have it, and it's, even with all its problems, it's still just a great car for me, and I don't know how to explain it. That's why I'm saying that you should never buy a BMW Z3. I mean, I already bought one, but you shouldn't buy one, because I don't think you'd have that, or you'd feel the charm that this does to me. And it's weird to explain, but personally though, like, this car is the just most fun experience for me. When I'm having a rough day at work, or when I'm having a rough day at school, I'll always just want to get in the Z3, pump up some music, play some pop music, I don't even know, and just drive around with the roof off on a day like this. And so that's probably what I'm about to do. And on that note, today's video is in fact over. If you liked it, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Let me know how you feel about it in the comments below. And if you like what you're seeing, leave a subscribe. And just like that, I'm out. I gotta get out of this parking lot fast. Otherwise, someone's gonna get pissed off at me. So I'm gonna go drive this thing around. Peace.